All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai Ba'ashem Rakakadash. That's all praises to the word called God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. Ba'ashem being in the name, and Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the whole elect. Preaching this preaching this word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah, Lord Will, with another video to edify and be highlighting Brother Barzal in the camps page on this one, doing a little response, and you're gonna hear it, but you got this Edomite she-devil Nikki Haley saying that America was never a racist country, and when you go through the history of America's, it's everything that's connected to racism. Right, there's a reason why you can get a book that says 100 years of lynching. Right, there's a reason why postcards were were printed, minted, and everything with lynchings on them. Yeah, Esau smiling while Jake is just hanging in a tree, and the same things happen to the Latinos because there's a book with the Latino lynching history in America as well, and they only cover a portion. So I guess what Esau was doing was human resource management when he was putting us to death in these grievous ways. All right, but I'm gonna play this. We'll get into it.
They hate us. All right, so let's play this video. Listen to what she says.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No.
Are you a racist party? Are you involved in a racist party?
No. We're not a racist country, Brian. We've never been a racist country. Our goal is to make sure that today is better than yesterday. Are we perfect? No. But our goal is to always make sure we try and be more perfect every day that we can. I know I faced racism when I was growing up, but I can tell you today is a lot better than it was then. Our goal is to lift up everybody, not go and divide people on race or gender or party or anything else. We've had enough of that in America. That's why I'm so passionate about doing this.
You see, lies, like the scriptures say, he's the father of lies. Let's get that. John 8:44 it says, "Ye are your father the devil, and the lust of your father will you do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh of a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." And that's how Esau moves. They like to omit the truth. And you got men that come in camps and start off in a sincere manner, and somewhere along the way they pick up these same traits, and hey, the Lord's gonna weed that shit out, man. The Lord's gonna weed that shit out. The sellouts, IUIC, Nathaniel, right? Bishop Nathaniel, ISUPK, General Gehenna, right? The Lord is going to weed this shit out. So you want to be a liar and you want to follow Esau? Well, we're coming down to the time where the Lord is about to start addressing you devils for your lies.
You know what?
No, it's never been a racist country. The inception of this place, man. Let me grab this book real quick. All right. So there's this book. God, I got it. Got the ebook version as well. The Delectable Negro. Right? Now there's a passage in this speaks about here it is. Here's a snippet from the book Delectable Negro. It says George provoked his master's penchant for punishment by frequently running away. In addition to disobeying, he sent to the spring one day to collect water into a elegant pitcher. George made a horrid mistake of letting the pitcher fall by standing by and watching as it dashed to shivers on the rocks. As punishment, for George's transgression, his master bound him to a wooden plank, and in a manner of a butcher quartered him with an axe, and cooked his severed body parts in pieces of flesh over a boiling fire. In preparation for this ritualized punishment, Lewis gathered all the slaves on the plantation into the most roomy Negro house, bolted the door, told those assembled that the design of his meeting was to teach them to remain at home and obey his orders. The ritual begins with George's younger brother helping the master bind the slave to a wooden bench. George was called up by the assistance of his younger brother, laid on a broad bench or block. The master then cut off his ankles with a broad axe. In vain, the unhappy victim screamed. But it says, not a hand among so many dared interfere. Having cast the feet into the fire, he, the master, lectured the Negroes at some length. He then proceeded to cut off his limbs below the knee. The sufferer besought him to begin with his head. It says, it was in vain. The master went on thus until trunk, arms, and head were all in the fire, still protracting the intervals with lectures and threatenings of like punishment in case any of them were disobedient or ran away or disclosed the tragedy they were compelled to witness. In order to consume the bones, the fire was briskly stirred until midnight. Sometime in the early morning, an earthquake materialized and shook the slave shack, crumbling the wall and extinguishing the fire. Right? So the Lord is the only reason why that stuff stopped. So you want to tell me America isn't a hateful place? Isn't a racist place? Show me how that was love.
You know what?
You devils got a lot to fucking pay for, man. This is start off with this one. Jeremiah 50:6. It says, my people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting places. All that found them have devoured them, and their adversaries said, we offend not. And this is what's happening. They're saying they offend not. When she's saying, oh yeah, we have our flaws, but nobody's perfect. Well, this is more than nobody's perfect. You devils have been a perfect devil to Israel. A perfect hater to Israel. The scriptures tell you he had a perpetual hatred. How the fuck are you going to say this was in a racist country? It says, we offend not because they have sinned against Yahweh, the habitation of justice, even Yahweh, the hope of their fathers. And this is how these devils operate. If it wasn't supposed to happen, it wouldn't have been able to happen. You niggas are complaining about something that you were given in our power to do. This is how Esau thinks about it. So any atrocities he did to you, that was human resource management. Right? That was a corrective action plan. This is how this devil sees shit. This is Obadiah 1 and 12. I want that one first. Let me see. Yeah, I'll get this Obadiah. Obadiah 1 and 12, it says, but thou shouldest have not, verse 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob Shame shall cover thee, talking about Esau, Edom. Thou shall be cut off forever. And that's what these devils don't understand, that they are going to be wiped out forever at a certain point. You're going to go into captivity. You're going to slurve out your slavery to the Israelites, the same ones that you put in slavery. Go to Revelation. Tells you what? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Isaiah the 14th chapter tells you what? That we're going to possess the heathen. It says, in the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captive his forces and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was as one of them. These devils always were consenting to our downfall. It says, but thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger. The Lord telling you right there, you shouldn't have even opened your eyes on us in that time. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of destruction. Because what? There's one that says, get this. This is Lamentation 2:16. It says, all thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss and gnash the teeth. They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly this is the day that we looked for. We have seen it. See, these heathen, this is what they always wanted. To see Jake go down in this fashion. To see us get swallowed up. This is what they looked for. Right? So back in Obadiah 1 and 12, it says, but thou shouldest not look on the day of thy brother, and the day that they became strangers, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced. We got the rejoicing over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of his distress. And this is proud talk in the time of their distress, because whether or not you niggas know it or not, you still at the bottom. Right? You might be able to travel now. You might be making some money now. But in general, you at the fucking bottom. Yeah, to other niggas, you look like you doing something big. But to Esau, you still ain't doing shit. To the other heathen, you still ain't doing shit. Right? It says, thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yeah, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest thou deliver up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. So that's what's going to happen. The slavery, the rape, rob, murder, pillaging, right? The constant oppressing. Well, in the kingdom of heaven, you heathen will be oppressed by the same ones that you oppressed. And that's a righteous judgment. This is Jeremiah 49:12. It says, for thus say Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. Going back to Deuteronomy 28, starting at 15 on down. That was if we were to break the covenant, and we weren't supposed to break it. So our judgment was never really to drink of the cup of that destruction, that trembling. Right? But we drank of it. And it says, art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. I mean, you devils are going to be in the same position, complaining about being oppressed. And when we hear you complain, the scriptures tell you that the Lord was going to give us a rod of iron to rule over the heathen, to him that getteth the victory. We hear you complain. We hear your thoughts of complaining. We're going to bash your damn heads in, and we will have the power to keep your soul in your body. It says, for I have sworn by myself, say Yahweh, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse, and all cities thereof shall be perpetual waste. See, the Lord has a judgment against you devils. And we're coming down to the time where the judgment is about to go forth. I think I had one queued up. You know what? You know what? I'm going to end it there, man. But you devils, man, that pride of trying to omit your offenses, you can admit them, man, but the Lord don't forget. Shalom.